Hello, 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 and welcome back. If you're new here, welcome on board. Okay, today we are going to do a stuffed chicken. If you like roasted chicken, this is another level. It's a stuffed roasted chicken. A few years ago, I would have never thought that I could do this, but it's pretty easy actually. But I was not a good cook then. That tells you anyone can cook. Anyone can make this, and it's a very like nice dinner, or if you have some people over, it's an amazing thing. You can have side dishes with it and roasted potatoes or something else. Like, just try it. It's really nice. Okay, here we have butter. This is room temperature butter. Butter is very important here. Try to use it, not substitute it. Okay, now let's talk marination. Have a little bit of yogurt, a little bit of tomato paste, and harissa paste. Harissa is going to give it an amazing color. The tomato paste and the yogurt are going to help with the tenderization. And I have some coriander seeds, a clove of garlic, and a few chilies, fresh chilies. If you're scared of the heat, then you can substitute that with just bell peppers or any kind of green peppers will work here, like the Turkish long peppers are an amazing substitution. Okay, this is all what you need for the marination, in addition of course to salt and pepper. So I'm pounding everything here using a pestle, mortar and pestle. I want to have a rough paste, not like ground the coriander completely. Okay, and I added everything to the pastes and the yogurt. I'm adding a little bit more salt and a little bit black pepper. Okay, and you're going to add the butter into that too. Before we do that, we are going to open our chicken, wash it, and dry it. I usually soak the chicken just in water with some flour, all-purpose flour. That does the job or the trick, and then just rinse it and dry it. Okay, and now we are adding the butter to the rest of the marination ingredients. Now we're going to work on this chicken. You want to have this marination everywhere, inside the chicken carcass, under the skin, and it's very important to be under the skin, and that is why we use butter, because the breast tends to dry out, and if you use butter under the skin, it helps with keeping it moist and keeping it tender as well. So try to put as much as you can of the marination between the skin and the breast. Okay, and the rest goes on top of the chicken. You don't need to score this chicken at all here, because we're going to stuff it. We don't want any holes, so the stuffing doesn't ooze out or anything. If you're just doing just a roasted chicken without stuffing, then this marination also works amazingly, and you can score it then. You can score the chicken and get the marination inside. Okay, now after you coat all the whole chicken here, we're going to cover it and leave it in the fridge. Overnight is best, but if you can't, you can leave it for around 2 hours minimum, I would say, but the longer you leave it, the better. Now let's talk stuffing. I'm using barley just because I like how hearty it is and deep the flavor is here. Okay, little bit of onions, some minced garlic, apricots, dried apricots, and almonds, as well as a little bit of parsley. If you don't want to use the barley, you can use rice. You can use, I think, any type of grain that will hold its shape when you cook it, because we are going to cook it twice. If you're using rice, I would say don't cook it. Maybe just stuff the chicken and put it in the oven, and it's gonna cook with the heat and the moisture of the chicken itself. Okay, I added the garlic and the onions to olive oil on the stove. Now I'm adding the barley. I'm going to cook it halfway through, so around 50 to 60% cooked, because just barley takes longer time to cook. Okay, I added a little bit of ground cumin and ground coriander here. going to saute everything together, and then I'm going to add some water. You don't need to add the whole amount of water required to cook the barley, as I said, because we're cooking it halfway through. And once it's cooked, we are going to, I'm gonna cover it, of course, here, as soon as it boils, I'm gonna cover it, and then we are going to leave it to absorb all of the water. After that, and I need it to be cold before I add the apricots, the almonds, and the parsley, and before I stuff the chicken. So you need it to cool down a little bit. I added a little bit of olive oil on the tray that I'm using to roast the chicken itself, and now we are going to stuff this chicken. Try to stuff it as much as you can, as much as the chicken can take, because you don't want to have a little bit of stuffing and too much chicken. So try to work that ratio out, and if your chicken comes with the neck, stuff the neck itself. That would be an amazing one. Okay, now I'm just gonna crisscross the chicken legs, using the excess skin to keep it in place, so I can just secure the stuffing inside. And then we are going to brush the chicken with the leftover marination, and I'm going to roast the chicken for around 40 minutes at 180 degrees oven. Just 40 minutes, because I'm going to do something else for it. Okay, now we took it out. The chicken usually takes, this size of chicken takes around maybe an hour and a half of cooking. So now 40 minutes in, we take it out, and we're going to put the vegetables, because we are going to need these vegetables for the gravy. Carrots, celery, green peppers, and onions. Lift the chicken and then add the vegetables. You can also add garlic here. Okay, and then we are going to return the chicken back on top of the vegetables this time. This way also the vegetables are going to create a layer for the skin to crisp up, so it's gonna like lift the chicken a little bit up. Okay, we're going to put the chicken back in the oven now, this time for around another 40 minutes, and then you can check for the doneness, or you can go for the whole full hour and a half all in all together. So same temperature, 180, and you can baste the chicken halfway through. So take a little bit brush and baste it with the gravy and the liquids that oozed out of the chicken. This will help with like the color of the skin and the moisture of the chicken as well, and the crispiness and all of that. Now chicken is done, vegetables are cooked. We are going to work with the gravy. A little bit of butter on the stove. I added a little bit of flour here. I'm going to toast them together before I add the vegetables. And this is only to thicken the gravy. If you like your gravy to be a little bit watery, you can just omit the flour or add a little bit or less than what I added. I added the vegetables here, and I'm going to add some more water. Okay, we don't need to cook too much. We just want everything to kind of mix together and the flavors to marry into each other, and then you're going to turn it off, and I'm using a hand blender to just blend it smoothly, and that's it. You're done. Gravy's done. This gravy tasted amazing. Yeah, add salt and pepper, don't forget that, very important. Okay, and here you have it, the gravy and the chicken. Okay, I don't cut the wings. You can cut the tips of the wings because they tend to dry or like crisp in the oven, but I do love that crispiness, so I just keep them where they are. And the barley would expand inside this chicken, and the stuffing would go like almost everywhere in the chicken carcass, and once you cut it, it's just going to be a party in your mouth. It's an amazing recipe. Please do try it. And the butter under the skin is a game changer for the tenderness of the breast. And if you do, please let me know and share, like, and subscribe, and see you next time.